All right, let me see if you're awake. Everybody clap your hands. Yes! All right, you guys are still with us. That works every time. Wow, I'm still processing. There was a lot going on. I'm sure everybody in the room is still processing this too. I think for me, the first thing that I thought about was how I've tried to, and I've been fortunate enough because it started for me at a very young age, to break bread with different perspectives as much as I can. I don't take all the credit for this. My family raised me in a very open-minded situation. I come from a biracial family, so by definition, we're already looking at that. I didn't meet my grandparents till I was 7 because they didn't accept the marriage. So already I had to learn that lesson very young. The reverend at my church was married to a man. So already right there, I just kind of understood that that was a perspective that people had. I've continued to live my life trying to understand that. When I was a teenager, I tried to understand the perspective of people who were very hateful. I grew up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which this is a little known fact, but we have one of the in the late 90s, we had one of the strongest white factions of white supremacist skinheads in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I tried my best to understand what that was. I started by trying to be anti, and then I continued to understand and actually befriended a few guys, and still have friends to this day in my life. My buddy Arno has done great things in his life by kind of, talking to folks about life after hate. I do my best to do this as much as I can, and this is the work that I'm fortunate to do at 88.9 Radio Milwaukee, is to have conversations about what is it like for other people's perspective. So for me, I think the biggest takeaway from this was that practice. It's what Dael had to do. She had to talk to all these different folks, and anyone who gave you a real strong gut reaction that causes a little fear and anxiety, it's kind of a good thing. It's kind of a cleansing opportunity for us. And so, I mean, for me, I tell my children, and my wife and I practice this regularly, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to do something that doesn't feel good for you all the time. You have to break bread with those people. You have to understand where they come from, and they can get the chance to understand where you come from, and together we can kind of get past all of this. I don't necessarily always know if what we're doing is working, but I know what I'm trying to do is working for my life and what works for me and my children and how we live. So I think also we have to maybe think about internalizing these things sometimes too. It's easy to get caught up in the group conversation, but what are you doing in your life? That's the question that I kind of walked away from this. What is that individual woman doing? What is that man doing in their life to make their experience better? So I want to thank you guys for taking this time to share this experience with me, and I hope we can continue that conversation. So thank you very much.